We are back, and all I have to say is, oh my God, it's finally football time. Part of being an adult means that summertime, sure, it could be fun. You go to the beach, you have a drink, I don't care. But the real summertime, the time that you look forward to, becomes fall again, because that's when you get football season. That's where you get pumpkin flavored things, and where you have excuses to just be like, yeah, we could do that, or we could just sit on home at the couch. So welcome, people, to the Affaka Show, or Spoiled Milk Bets. I don't know what I'm calling it yet. Where do spoiled milk bets come from? Well, we're really starting to do our long form, but starting off, we did a lot of shorts, and we get picks wrong. I'm not saying I'm great at this. I'm trying to bring you guys some entertainment value and just teach a little something of what I've learned. I get picks wrong, and that's where spoiled milk comes in, because people comment, oh, this aged like spoiled milk. Okay, Rodney, I didn't see you comment before the game happened, but you comment after. Interesting. Monday quarterback, more like 15 minutes after the game ends quarterback. You go ahead, you start your team, see who else picked the other side. I know who you are, Rodney. Don't try to fool me. People, welcome. So I mentioned, hey, we've been doing shorts for a while. Where did my fandom come from? Was I a football player? No, no. I'm a short 5'8" suburban boy. There is not an ounce of football in me. But 11 years old, drafted my first fantasy team at summer camp, 8-man league. And I remember thinking to myself, my God, did I draft a great team. I got Maurice Jones-Drew, a fantastic value pick. And then my counselor was like, oh yeah, your team's good. And in my head it went, stop, you idiot. My team's the best. And ever since then, I've been chasing that feeling of just talking ball and being like, yeah, I'm right, you're wrong. So that's where it all stemmed from. Family, not a football family whatsoever. Half of them were bodybuilders, the other half were fans of the marching band. So grew up going to football games, but for the wrong reasons. Little did they know as I grow up, it's going to be for the football side, not the marching band side. Sorry, sister. But what are you going to do? That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. From there, loved DFS, started playing in high school, but that was the basis of learning, okay, let's try now attaching salary values. Oh my God, there was a B outside. That's where I learned value picks. So I noticed that, hey, you can get a great value for someone who's like $3,300 in ROI. That's where I became obsessed with it. Slowly got into betting as it became legalized in Pennsylvania, as it became legalized in New York City as well. First job out of college, that's where I met B-Dog from work. There's two B-Dogs in my life. There's B-Dog from work, who I talk to occasionally still, and there's B-Dog Prime. He wears glasses. I know he's going to be watching this video, just sitting there with his little coffee with his two hands in the city of Philadelphia. So cute. So cute. Some say he looks like just like the cutest little plush doll. If they made a Beanie Baby out of B-Dog, it would have been the #1 selling Beanie Baby, even during all the hype. Anyway, B-Dog from work, though. Sorry, B-Dog Prime. Taught me really how to bet. He taught me all the basics. He's like, yeah, you do parlays? I was like, yeah, I do parlays. And he's like, you know that basically stands for like forfeit in Greek. And I was like, my God, I love you. So he took me under his wing. That's where I get a lot of my model from today. And it's just incredible. So people, that's my betting history. Then I started putting out shorts because I'm like, I don't want to toss as much money on these games, but I'm starting to win. Let's share it. Started really getting into part of my take. And I was like, why not try this? So that's why we're coming in with the long form. We're seeing some success with the short form. So let's keep it going. What's interesting about that is it gets a lot more views when they're wrong. So maybe I just become the fade guy, get a sick fade up the middle, and call it a day. But my God, I would look silly with that. So people, that's me. Starting off, there's nothing to recap. Sure, I can go into college football, but that was a big old, all the marquee games were just an absolute snoozer. So what does this bring us to? It brings us to looking ahead to maybe some NFL news, right? Starting off, Micah Parsons got traded. Now, I'm an Eagles fan, and honestly, I have no idea if this is good or bad for us, right? Go Birds. But gets our rival out. And as much as I hate Dallas, Dallas is not scary for me in terms of, oh, they might win the Super Bowl. Jerry Jones is absolutely senile, and he has no idea what's going on. The guy is basically Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Just evil, evil, evil. But Mr. Burns does have a heart. But Jerry Jones, I'm not so sure. But trading away Micah Parsons was just a dumb move. It made Dumb and Dumber look like a documentary out of MIT, okay? Because he is so good. He's only 26 years old, so he's the same age as me, which is sad when we start comparing our lives together. We basically have the same body type. I just didn't have the same fast twitch muscles that he did. he got traded to Green Bay Packers. The Packers were already a fantastic team. Jordan Love really battled with injuries last season. He's healthy this season. As long as he doesn't have to go play in Brazil again, he's not going to mess up his, foot, then ankle, the shoulder. Who even knows? But they also now have another receiving threat that they drafted. The rookie, Matthew Golden. A lot of people really love him. I've been drafting him in some fantasy, so he definitely has a lot of high upside. This Packers team became a lot more scary to win the Super Bowl. He might start off a little bit slow. He was holding out, wasn't going to camp. So now he has to go ahead, start training. He was injured, but come on, was he really that injured? I mean, if Jerry Jones was my manager, sure, I'd be injured too. But he's going to be great. He's going to be great. And when it comes to playoffs, Packers are not a team that people are going to want to face, including myself. Other than this trade, I really don't believe there's any real news here. I would go over my records here on the Tuesday show, but I don't have any, so we're going to go touch our Raven Simone. Oh, no, Raven Smith? Raven, I don't know, but let me just tell you that's a Raven because we're looking into the future. We're talking about futures on this show. I have 3 for you that I absolutely love the first one. I like the second one, and I don't see how the third one doesn't hit. Starting off, this one's going to be dirty. It's the Cleveland Browns. Now, let's just face it. They had more drama there than the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I know, what about the Real Housewives of Cleveland? I don't think that exists if I'm being transparent. Thinking, well, what about the big Housewives of the Big Apple, right? You know, it's closer. No. There is not enough drama there. Atlanta's the only one that has a good drama. Trust me, I watch too much Bravo. Shout out Andy Cohen. When I'm looking straight down the face of the Cleveland Browns organization, the quarterback's room is the mess. That's where the drama comes from. Sure, the running backs, but that's like off the field stuff, not like, that's like serious world problems. The quarterback problems are just like, is this nepotism or not? The organization, it's a mess, it's bad, it's chaotic, right? Shedeur Sanders. This is what everyone wants to talk about. Shedeur Sanders, sure, he is a nepo baby, but he did play well enough at Colorado to get drafted. Now, way after than everyone else thought he would? Sure. But when I was a kid, I played that balloon game with the tarp where you go it up, you throw it up, and everyone runs and they go to the other side. So those are just 2 facts. Not correlated whatsoever. Shedeur Sanders is really fighting Dillon Gabriel for this second spot. We'll get to why in a second. Now, here's the thing. The NFL is a business. They got to move them tickies, and they got to get eyeballs on the TV. What sounds better? Dillon Gabriel making his first start? Okay, sure. Who is he? And then you have Shedeur Sanders making his first start. Oh, okay. Let's see either how good this is going to be or if this is going to be a train wreck. So those are the 2 factors that really go into it. Now, they are starting Joe Flacco. I love Joe Flacco. He's old, like Aaron Rodgers type of old. I think the Browns really need someone like him, someone experienced, to show these other 2 rookies the way, kind of like Yoda and possibly Obi-Wan Kenobi, but it would be hilarious if you saw Shedeur Sanders just carrying Joe Flacco around like he did with Yoda. They have key offensive pieces there, okay? Let's not forget about David Njoku, who is just an absolute stud. He looks massive, and I know for a fact that I cannot beat him in a fight. In addition to that, Jerry Jeudy. You don't hear a lot about him in the NFL like offseason, so shout out Simon Hunter for this one, but that's because he's going to work. The guy is a professional, and he knows how to catch the ball and run fast. So I absolutely love Jerry Jeudy. I think he's going to be a steal in fantasy drafts, especially now they have a reliable passer like Joe Flacco. This defense is also elite. They have one of the best front sevens in all of football, and their secondary is also very strong as well. Look, Myles Garrett, another guy who I cannot fight. I don't think I can fight a lot of NFL players, that's for sure. I can't fight any. Now that I'm saying that, I don't know how to throw a punch. If someone tried to fight me, I would have to try to run away. That's my only chance for survival. Their formula for success is just, I don't know if it's just like, hey, this is AFC North football, but it seems to me like they're almost as Steelers in a sense where it's like, our defense is going to be able to hold them, so can the offense do enough? That was my theory for a lot of Browns games last year, and I lost a lot of money betting on them last year. But look, I'm ready to get hurt again. The issue with them, though, however, is they do have the second hardest schedule in all of football somehow, but their total right now is only at 4.5. So here are some extremely winnable games. You have the Steelers, right, they play them twice a year, they're bound to beat them at least once. Dolphins, Jets, Raiders, Titans, and hopefully they'll beat the Bengals once. And they always give the Ravens a little bit of grief too. So if they can hit those, that's the over. But here's my reality check. The only favorite in one game, which means they're underdog in 16 games. So that's not a great outlook overall. It doesn't matter though. I'm going to be taking Cleveland over 4.5 wins total this season. Jaguars. So Jaguars win total right now is at 7.5, and the Jaguars now have a new offensive-minded head coach, Liam Cohen. And let me tell you, they have a real chance to win the AFC South. Now, is that what this bet's going to be? I don't know. You have to stay tuned. That's why we call it retention in the biz. New offensive head coach. Let's look at the rest of the division. You have the Colts, dumpster fire. Who knows what's going to happen? Hopefully, Jonathan Taylor has a decent season. You have, then, in addition to that, Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward, going to be good. You don't have the pieces yet, though, so sorry. The real competition here is the Texans. CJ Stroud, I love him. I think he's fantastic. Nico Collins, I love him. Top 5 receiver in the NFL. However, the offensive line is just terrible. And if you continue to lose pieces, it doesn't matter how good CJ Stroud is, they're going to get pressure, and it's going to be very tough to move the ball on some of these offenses. And you also have Joe Mixon going down. Probably he's not coming back. Let's be realistic. It's not going to be at least week 4, 5, 6. And they could also just have this season-ending surgery just like that. Cut them off like Fruit Ninja back in the day. I was never really great at Fruit Ninja. I was more of a doodle jump guy myself. So here are the potential clues for Jacksonville that are in the mix. I'm not talking about Blues clues here for them to get over 7.5. Well, new offensive-minded head coach Liam Cohen. I think he's going to be fantastic. He took Baker, made him a little clay, and just molded him into Baker Mayfield. The fight was always there. Browns did him dirty. He did fantastic in Tampa, and I believe he's going to bring that same energy to Trevor Lawrence. They're in a similar position, right? High draft picks, amazing college careers, but the NFL just hasn't shaped out to how they wanted it to be. Liam Cohen got his hands on Baker. Incredible. I think he's, ranked 7th, 8th, 9th in fantasy right now. On the other hand, you have Trevor Lawrence. Long hair, jealous of it. What are you going to do? But he is going to be fantastic because he also has a strong supporting receivers around him with BTJ. Then you also have Mr. Two-Way himself. And then you also have Strange there, who has a fantastic last name. So Trevor Lawrence now has the weapons to actually move the ball. He just needs to stay healthy this season. Now, if you want to take their win total over, that makes sense to me. But if you wanted to also wait until their first half of their season, I also get that as well. My goal is for them to come out with their first 8 games with 3 wins. If they can go 3-5, I am happy as a claim because their back half of their schedule is just cupcake. We're talking Melissa, the Melissa Bakery Lady cupcakes. Now, are they my favorite cupcakes? No. Do I like them? Sure, I'll eat them. Overall, though, Jaguars are going to take a step forward. The new coach is going to get them clicking. Trevor Lawrence, if he stays healthy, is going to have a fantastic year. I love them to have over 7.5 wins. Now, here is my can't lose parlay NFL future. Sure, I'll probably whip together Division 1, but this one made so much sense to me that I do not see a world that it doesn't hit. Sure, the word parlay in like Greek or Roman, so shout out B-Dog for this. B-Dog from work, not B-Dog Prime. B-Dog from Prime's about halfway through his coffee during the time of filming, and he's just sitting back in his chair being like, man, it feels nice to have cushions. That's what he thinks about. Imagine having those type of thoughts where you can just sit there and just be like, oh, I live in Philadelphia. I'm just going to sit here with a cushion, drink my coffee, fix my glasses. Maybe I'm in a car. Maybe he's driving to work. Inside the city, outside the city, doesn't matter. Must be nice, B-Dog Prime. Must be nice. B-Dog from work, though. One of the first rules he taught me about NFL betting was parlay is basically just the word for forfeit. So the sports books are literally telling you if you do parlay, you're probably going to lose. The implied odds are insane there. Whenever you take those 8-leg parlays, only throw a couple bucks on it. 5 max. Because they never hit. Unless they do, and then you feel fantastic, and then you keep doing them and you lose all your money. So that's just how the cookie crumbles. What we are looking for is a parlay. This might be a sucker bet, but stay with me. I have 4 teams making the playoffs within this parlay. Starting off, Buffalo Bills. You have to love Josh Allen. Sure, the Hard Knocks is an absolute snoozer, and it's so boring. It's not even getting me excited for the NFL season. I blame HBO, and maybe the Bills are just a very good organization where there's not too much drama, so they can just keep their heads down and win. They're going to win to the playoffs. Their division's just a piece of cake, and honestly, probably one of the weakest ones. So My thoughts when I'm also placing all these bets is what happens if their quarterback goes down? Can they still make the playoffs? The Bills line, their run game, yes, they can. Second up is the Ravens making the playoffs. They have a very strong offensive line. Derrick Henry back there. Their defense is incredible. So if Lamar does go down, which again, we're not rooting for injuries, but we got to play doomsday in the head. We got to play doomsday in the head, folks. If that does happen, they still have a great chance to make the playoffs. I mean, when you're looking at the Cleveland Browns aren't making it. The Steelers aren't making it. So it's just against the Bengals. The Bengals defense is so bad, they're going to lose against bad teams just by no matter how many points Joe Burrow puts up. It doesn't matter. They're still going to lose, and that's how it is. The Ravens, though, they have a horrible 1 or 2 losses against teams. Then they always shape it together, and they always play great against great teams, so I love them. Third team to make the playoffs, my Philadelphia Eagles. That offensive line, Saquon Barkley, that defense, I mean, what more do you want? They have one of the best O-lines in all of football. They have one of the best running backs in all of football. I honestly don't know what more you can ask for. Hurts is fantastic. If he goes down, the backup's Tanner McKee. Game manager, that's all you're going to need in order to win these games. They can rely on their defense and their run game. Fourth one, and now this one had the lowest odds to make the playoffs, Kansas City Chiefs. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's Patrick Mahomes, and it's Patrick Mahomes. If you have Patrick Mahomes with a chance to make it to the playoffs, and you're telling me that's not going to happen, I'm telling you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And not like Ted 2 or Liam Neeson comes in and he's like, are these tricks for kids? And then Ted's like, I don't know if these tricks are for kids. Oh, wait, I mean, yes, they are. And then he goes, no, they're not. Like, you can enjoy them too. And then Liam Neeson goes, okay, thank you. That scene was hilarious. Ted 2, underrated movie. It's not, you're not in it for the plots, it's for the joke. I'm excited for the animated series. Shout out Seth MacFarlane, big influence of mine. Now, when we go back to the Kansas City Chiefs, their defense is fantastic. We've been knowing this for years now. They have the best quarterback in all of football. The Chiefs should be making the playoffs. Their division is so tough. My theory is that Chiefs are still going to be able to eke out wins. The other teams are just going to beat themselves up, and it's just going to kind of be like big brother, little brother. Simple as that. I love the Chiefs to make the playoffs. These 4 teams, believe it or not, is plus 111. So I place a significant, the largest bet, second largest sports bet of my entire life, as long as I did this responsibly, which I did, on the Chiefs. First game to cover for the entire year, we have the Philadelphia Eagles welcoming the Dallas Cowboys. Come here, Dallas. Banner night, kind of funny that they're making this the first game. And now the drama, the pageantry, it's all there. But drama and pageantry for Philadelphia Eagles fans basically means Bud Light cans on the ground and a lot of people just yelling at each other. But look, that's what home is. That's what home is. Right now, the Eagles are 7.5-point favorites with 65% of the bets and 74% of the money on Eagles at the time of filming, which is Monday. It opened at 6.5. Kind of maybe it went to like 7, came back to 6.5. But ever since the Micah Parsons news came out, it moved to 7.5. Total opened up at 46.5, now at 47.5, again after the Parsons trade. At time of filming, you have 22% of the bets and 22% of the money on the over. There is a big time concern for the Eagles because they're coming off that Super Bowl hangover. Sure, you know, the 2017 Super Bowl, it was fantastic, but I had the flu. So I don't think the team is, truly present. And now this team, they're welcoming a ton of people back, and it felt more personal. It was a huge win as an Eagles fan. But now they had a lot more young guys on the team, which is great for when you're building. You know how to have a championship, and now these people can become vets. But like Cooper DeJean, he was partying out in the Jersey Shore, getting hammered. Personally, I love it. Some other people might not. Personally, I do, because what else are you supposed to do? As a person in your young 20s in the Northeast, you go to the Jersey Shore and you just have a little bit of drink. But people are concerned that they're going to have a Super Bowl hangover. When you dive into the statistics, so shout out Evan Abrams from Action Network. I'm stealing this. He has a great article that he posts every single week on statistics, and they're too good not to steal. So shout out him, give him a follow on all the socials and everything. Week 1, home opener teams are 13-8 in 3 against the spread since 2000. That's a winning percentage. So I enjoy that stat. But when you dive into the Eagles, Jalen Hurts primetime is just a different animal. He's 26-3 as a home favorite in his entire career. Sure, Dak Prescott has a big history of being able to beat up on these NFC East teams, but Dak Prescott's team in the past was a lot better, and he had a lot better offensive line pieces. He got injured last year. The season before, he was fantastic, but it's still a long time ago, and the team has shifted a lot since then. When you're looking at the matchup breakdown, the Eagles have a fantastic running offense, and just that's really produced by their offensive line. With Parsons gone, I can't imagine Dallas getting any pressure on the Eagles at all. The Cowboys' strength is that they could end up moving the ball on these Eagles a little bit. Sure, the Eagles have a fantastic secondary. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. CeeDee Lamb is top 3 receiver in the league, and George Pickens is just a deep, deep ball threat. So I can see them getting lost. If the Eagles start off a little bit sluggish, it could be bad. So how am I going to bet this game, right? I already took Eagles minus 6.5. If you're at any of my live streams, I've been hammering that number and telling people to take it. Do I like it from a betting perspective? No, not that much. But what else am I gonna bet Dallas plus 6.5? But am I gonna bet Dallas plus 6.5? No. Now the line is at 7.5, which is a lot of points. What I do love is the Eagles team total over 27.5 points. Absolutely love that here. If you want to take the spread, but you don't want to really lay that 7.5, what I would do is, hey, maybe see how the game progresses, and if the Dallas does go up, the Eagles come off with a sluggish start, go ahead, hammer the Eagles for it'll probably be like a minus 4.5 if Dallas goes out, scores a touchdown. I would absolutely love that play there. If I had to pick a total in this game though, I would lean over 47.5. I might just bet it just because I want to have fun, but I wouldn't put that as one of my picks for this. Next up is Chiefs Chargers. Now, this one's going to be an absolute doozy. Both start with the letter C and both in the same division. Those are some fun facts for you. Spread as of August 5th is Chargers plus 3. Right now they have 42% of the bets and 80% of the money backing them. Open at minus 2.5, then move to minus 3. Some books even touching minus 3.5. Total has stayed steady at 45.5, 84% of the bets and 84% of the money on the under. No movement since the open. People are down on the Chiefs after the Super Bowl loss, right? Saying Patrick Mahomes doesn't have it. Let me just give you 3 examples of him. I don't have to. It's Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes. He is still the best quarterback in the NFL, not even close. Facing him though, Justin Herbert. Second year at Harbaugh. I kind of love the chemistry they're building there. Now he's dating Madison Beer. Is she good? Is she a distraction? Is he going to be on Twitch streams? Is he going to be a feature in one of her music videos? Does she still do music? I discovered her when she was on SoundCloud. I liked her for her music and no other reasons. I guess I'm just that type of person. I guess I am. The Chiefs have a steady run game with Pacheco if he can stay healthy and not fumble the ball. Good offensive line, not a bad offensive line. But the receivers are starting to be healthy. They have a top 10 receiving core. Rashee Rice, interesting, let's just say interesting, but he started to get some more chemistry with Worthy, and hopefully Kelsey can be more of a factor this year. In the end of the day, though, you have Mahomes. He can make me look like a good receiver, and again, I'm 5'8". On my license, it says I'm 5'6". I really hope I'm 5'7" if someone actually measures me, but I hope no one actually ever takes a ruler out and goes, here you go, time to shape up. The strength of the Chiefs is what it has been, which is the defense. They have a very good run defense, and their secondary is also fantastic. So with a great defense and Patrick Mahomes on the other side, I love them to do just a very good job here. Keep it low scoring, and then have Mahomes do Mahomes magic. Andy Reid's still the best coach in the NFL, probably. Let's just face facts. He's probably the best coach in the NFL. Paired with the best quarterback in the NFL, it's a great look. Chargers, again, second year with Harbaugh. Running back Hampton, super strong addition. I love what they did there. One of the best offensive lines. They have Ladd McConkey. Now they have Trey Harris to really extend the field. They're going to be a better team this year, but they're not going to be as good as the Chiefs are. Plain and simple, Chiefs still own that division. They have a strong defense, though, which could turn this game into a slugfest. Best bet for me right now at the time of filming is over 45.5. Sure, I can see this being like a 10-9 game and have it be super boring, be like, but it's Friday Night Football, so I'm not that complaining. I love over 45.5 here. As long as it doesn't cross that key number of 46.5, I think this could be a fantastic play. And a fun prop could just be sprinkling a little bit on Pacheco anytime touchdown. Hopefully he has a bigger role this year. Spread though, I know pregame play on it. Maybe during the game, if the Chargers go out, score a touchdown, I'll live bet Mahomes to come back because it's Mahomes. So if you can get him under 3, I love it. Looking forward to this NFL Sunday. We are so back. We're gonna have the Lions-Packers. Great game, right? You have Micah Parsons now add to the Packers. I don't know how much of a factor he's going to be, but the Lions are going to be a very interesting team to watch. Yeah, Dan Campbell was like, oh, man, his coordinator's left. How he gonna be any good? I'm now an old man. I'm gonna have a pitchfork. Do you think people ever roast marshmallows on pitchforks, or is it exclusively sticks? I have never been a part of a pitchfork riot as well, but I'm not ruling it out. I have a lot of life to live, and I'm excited to have that potential one day. Dane Campbell's still running this offense, right? I understand, oh, well, Ben Johnson, yeah, sure, he's fantastic. He's going to do great things in Chicago, but in the end of the day, he's still an offensive-minded coach. So the Lions-Packers game I'm looking forward to. Ravens-Bills, Lamar versus Josh Allen. Again, you just meet in the playoffs. Josh Allen won. Lamar probably going to take his revenge this season, so I don't know. I do not have a read, but I'm excited. I do wish, however, this was the Monday night game. I'm going to be kind of all in on football, and I'm going to need a break, and then I would like to have like a team that doesn't matter as much, which would be the Vikings-Bears game. Sure, it's going to be fantastic, but it's going to be a little bit less of a serious game than if we're going to see Ravens-Bills. But what do you want? Beggars can't be choosers. I'm just glad football's back. So we're at the end of the show. Let's wrap it up with the single biggest lesson of the week, which is week 1 betting is just shooting fish in a barrel. And this is because I went 0-4 in my college football plays that I gave out on TikTok and YouTube. That's just bad. Some say, like Big Cat, that going 0-4 is almost as impressive as going 4-0. So if you've been following that, you followed that. So fantastic. But week 1's really tough. Bets really start making sense week 3. That's where I hit my stride. Time to tease Thursday's episode a little bit is we'll break down the line moves and lock in my 5 best bets. And now it's time for my catchphrase that I like to end every show with, which is, guess I have to go home now.